Welcome back, everyone. I am Eric. My call sign is KJ4YZI, and you're watching Ham Radio Concepts. And in this video, I want to bring you something that I just recently got at Orlando Hamcation 2020. And for those who don't know, Orlando Hamcation, or they call it Hamfest, is the second largest Hamfest in the United States. Dayton, Ohio would be the first in May, the largest, and I will be there for the people that watch, so I'll see you at Dayton. I encourage everybody to go to a Hamfest, and this is a prime example of why. You don't have to be a ham radio operator. You could be a CB operator. You could be a chef. But you need to go one time in your life to a Hamfest of this size to meet other people, educate yourself, play with radios like I have back here, meet the vendors, ask questions, educate yourself, and learn about devices like this that you never knew existed. Technologies that could save your life. I'm going to give you 1 minute of what this is, and then we're going to go into the detailed video. When I walked by on day 3, Sunday morning at Hamcation, I saw that and I said, whoa, what's this? I'm a weather enthusiast, and it caught my eye right there. I have my Davis Vantage Pro 2 weather system here. I'm a Skywarn weather spotter. I'm glued to the TV and buried in the TV making my own forecasts when it's hurricane season and a hurricane's approaching. I love weather, but weather can be destructive and deadly. In 1 minute, what is this? This is a technology, the first of its kind, the world's first personal tornado, lightning, and severe weather detector. Now the technology goes back a little ways, although this has been around maybe 2 years. I'm a little late to the party. But this constantly monitors the skies in real time for electrical activity, which is scientifically proven to be the cause of tornado formation. And not only that, you'll see severe thunderstorm alerts, you'll see lightning strikes. Guys, we're ham operators, we're CB operators. Who scrambles when they hear about a lightning or a severe weather alarm on the TV? Who scrambles to that and unplugs all the coax and the cables to save all your expensive equipment? Right? It's happened. It still does happen. But this will give you up to a 30-mile coverage area with up to 30 minutes of warning to know that there could be tornado, severe weather, or lightning approaching. This is not meant to augment or prove or be the do-all, end-all. There is nobody in the world who knows when and exactly where a tornado or severe weather will happen. And I can tell you this statement. If you rely on a cell phone and an app that your weather service or news station told you to download, if you were told and think that an app on your phone will save your life for a tornado or a severe weather event, please unsubscribe from my channel and never watch again. That's a hard statement to say, but you got to understand, we're ham radio operators around here, and when everything else fails, what's left? Ham radio. What do you think happens when everything could potentially fail, like cable systems, your satellite dish, power, and your weather radio? When everything else could fail, this little device right here will monitor in real time from your desk or your nightstand and alert you in the event of severe weather. Let's check out in detail the tornado alert.
Ham Radio Concepts.
Okay, so much like I learned about this at the booth in Orlando Hamcation, I'm not going to just read off this paper, but I'm going to reference a couple things here on the pamphlet that they advertise this device from. And another thing that I'm going to show you right away, and I want to make this clear, guys. I want to make this clear. Hopefully the tornado alert people see this video. Somebody send them an email and tell them you watched it here so they can see that I'm interested in this device. Now check this out. I'm just going to read a sentence to you. Okay, notice to users. The system is in no way intended to be or represented to be any form of protection whatsoever for persons or property. Definition: you are the human, not the machine here. You are the human that decides when you're in danger. You are the human that decides what you need to do. This just aids you in alert. I just want to make that clear. I don't want anybody to think that because this went off or didn't go off, or the weather service did or didn't inform you, that they're responsible. You are responsible. Do what you need to do to protect your life and family. Here's the other thing I want to tell you. If for any reason the user is uncomfortable with any weather situation, even if the system has not provided a warning, the user should immediately take the appropriate steps to ensure his or her safety. Again, they are telling you, look guys, there is no way of having a 100% definite chance and a 100% foolproof method. You're the human, smarten up. Okay, so this is the tornado alert. No reason to do an unboxing. It does come with a quick start guide, and the quick start guide from what I looked at is very simple. This thing is no setup required. There is nothing for you to do to program this thing. That's the cool part. If you're not that smart in technology, no problem, okay? I'll take this off right here, ready? I know, because for those who don't know, I've had videos of $1,800 radios and I left the screen protector on and I got bashed at by my viewers. So yes, I took it off. Okay, so this does run with batteries. Okay, you could put 2 batteries in here, or a 9-volt, excuse me, or a AC/DC adapter. Now, we all know that power, like last night, had some severe, some cold fronts, a wind come through, and I lost power for 2 hours. Transformer out back, decided to come off the pole or whatever happened. So this must have batteries in it in case the event you lose power, right? Just 2 buttons, but that's all we need to know there. Here's the power adapter it comes with. Wow, what an unboxing video, Eric. Exactly, because we don't need all that stuff. There's nothing to program, okay? I'm going to plug this in and we'll touch on some of the aspects on what this does. But to look at the device here, no antenna that you need to plug in, okay? Just an on-off switch power, okay? There's a strobe and a blinking strobe, red light, a screen on here, a couple buttons. That's it. You pretty much set it and forget it. Okay, the first thing you're going to notice when you put power to this and plug it in is it's going to run a self-test with the strobe and the light, and it's going to say, okay, on self-test. Then it goes to a pass-fail screen. Now, what's happening here? The first thing this is going to do is it's going to detect the ambient noise level or electrical noise that you can't hear, but this can pick up. It's going to detect that and determine where the noise floor is for my technical people, noise floor, if it's a high electrical noise or low electrical noise, and so that it could be listening above the standard noise that's in the area, okay? You have to put this device at least a couple feet from a window and away from electrical interference that could hamper this device's ability to detect with its internal antenna, to detect lightning up to how many miles away. Now, I want you to learn something or see something I just noticed. So this is pass-fail. This is telling me that the noise is very high in this area, okay? And that's saying that the noise right here in this vicinity is well over what it's going to detect from a lightning storm 20 miles away. I just so happen to realize it's one of my radio chargers right behind it that's charging this handheld right here, okay? Watch this. I'm going to unplug it. Watch what it does. Look at that. It was actually the charger for my little Ushan here, my little handheld I use for satellite. So now look, pass-fail. It tells you when you first set it up where it should be, where it's not detecting, a lot of interference, static discharges, stuff like that. Now you can see when I touch it like this, it goes up, just for my body. So you want to have this thing in an area, not on a fluorescent light bulb, where the noise level is really, far down. Then it's going to calibrate and listen over the noise floor. Okay, it's going to go to a no threats screen. Now what this is telling me is this. There's no threats in the area. Now unfortunately, I don't have a way to set this off. Okay, there's no way to fake the alarm. Now they did have a test unit on the table at this booth. Although it wasn't for sale. I couldn't take the test unit because that's theirs. But there's no way I could set this off. Now, what do I have to go by with this? Well, I could read reviews online from people that bought it on whatever websites or wherever. People that made videos on YouTube and said it works. Now, a very anticlimactic point of this review right here is, well, that's it. Well, what you need to know is when there's a threat, and we're going to reference the paper here, okay? 30-mile radius, okay? And it says, consistently listens or constantly listens to the atmospheric frequencies with a range of 30 miles from your exact location. Listening for what NASA scientists call tweaks, whistlers, and spherics.
I've lost the bleeps, I've lost the sweeps, and I've lost the creeps.
The what?
The what?
And the what?
You know, the bleeps, the sweeps, And the creeps.
Which, two of those words, I mean, I know what it's like to tweak out on iced coffee, but I have no idea what a tweak is. But hey, it's listening. Okay? All are significant, unique identifiers of intense electrical activity in the atmosphere, including lightning, severe weather, and the precise conditions in which tornadoes are created. I learned something from this, that tornadoes have a lot to do with electrical interference and detecting them. I had no idea. But I could tell you, also what it says here on the paper real quick before I tell you this. It says 95% accurate based upon 40 years of scientific research. And I guess the very first units of these would be in planes, and they would be gigantic. And, you know, they're not personal $69 devices like this. But the accuracy is comparable only to NASA and NOAA GOES-R satellite launched into Earth's orbit late last year. So 95% accuracy. So looking at the device here, okay, we have a 90 dB siren right here. That's that. So if you are hard of hearing or it's in another room, it's quite loud. I think my weather radio, honestly, is louder, but it's a 90 dB siren that'll give you a, you know, let you know. And at the same time, the strobe light here will go to strobe or you know, red when it's an alert. The threat identification. So the threat identification will tell you with a bar graph the nature of the danger first in you know, display here, tornado, whatever, and then the bar graph, which indicates how close or how you know dangerous it is to your area, based on the intensity of the electrical, you know, detection that this thing has had from that storm. The antenna is built in. This will tell you, you know, strobe on, siren off. So we need to turn the siren on. Why is the siren on? There it goes. Siren on. That's pretty much the only settings you have to do. Settings right there. Strobe on, strobe off, siren, or strobe on. That's pretty much it. I would leave them both on if you could. Okay, so here's another thing to note. You cannot use this thing driving, okay? That would make no sense. It's got to sit during power up for 20, 30 seconds and detect the ambient electrical noise or the noise around you so that it can calibrate to the noise floor. And if you're driving, that changes every second you're driving, plus the auto noise from your car. If you're in an RV, yes, you can set it up in the RV if you're parked at a campground for a week, but this won't work driving, okay? So this is not a replacement for something in your vehicle. At the same time, you want this device to be on all the time. Why? Again, we'll go back to the car insurance thing. Well, I don't have, you know, it's going to sit there and burn power all year, and there's only a tornado twice a year. Okay. But that one time, what's the use of not having this powered on? But another thing is, you can't turn this thing on a day when all of a sudden there's lightning pop. Well, maybe I need to plug this in. It's too late. You can't plug this in and calibrate it during an extreme weather event, because it's going to detect the noise that's out there from the lightning or tornado, and it's going to listen above that. So what good does that do? It's going to calibrate itself that the tornado or lightning event is normal, and it's going to listen above that. So that's not a good idea. So you want to calibrate this on, or leave it sit there, you know, and turn it on a day where it's nice, calm, blue skies, you know. Don't sit in here and watch YouTube videos. Go out and play football, but leave this thing on. And then the instant there's a event or a severe weather event, it's going to detect that, you know. So that's how that works. One more thing I want to show you is that this auxiliary jack on the side here is for the hearing impaired. They do recommend, and I recommend in any situation, that your bedroom is the place where you sleep normally. The bedroom is the place, or wherever you sleep rather, is where you want to have this. Because that's when, you know, yeah, you're sleeping with the TV on, or maybe not. A lot of people don't sleep with the TV on. But you're not sitting there watching the TV, and it's not going. The TV's not going to get out and scream at you when the tornado's coming. The TV, you may be sleeping, you don't hear it. So by putting this in the bedroom, that's when most of life and human danger is possible, because you're sleeping. Okay? Here come the comments. I don't sleep much, so I'll be awake anyways. Well, not even going to say it. Anyways, when you're sleeping, that's when your, you know, threat happens, because now you got to get alerted and wake up. So guess where my weather radio is? Exactly. Guess who punches me every time that thing goes off? And it's in a weather event that's, you know, 25 miles south of me in the county. The wife hates it. And I always remind her, listen, I know we just got woke up on that huge screaming, but what if it was here? What if that severe weather was here? So she, okay, but that thing will wake you up big time. But this will go off before the weather station goes off. Remember, the weather, alert radio is driven by the National Weather Service in Melbourne, in my situation. So if the Weather Service in Melbourne hasn't issued a report yet, your weather radio is not going to go off. But this will if the thing forms in your backyard or down the street. So in case you've never seen a weather radar, they're all over the country, right? But this is kind of what it looks like, big golf ball thing, right? And, every weather station or meteorologist, the National Weather Service is beyond the news channels. But, every news channel wants you to know or think that their weather radar is the most instant, best radar in the world. And there's a lot of technology in that. But what you don't know is what I learned in Skywarn training, and that's the Skywarn, weather spotter network that a lot of hams are into. And people that are not hams, you can go free, take a class. And what they tell you in the Skywarn training is the limitations of this radar. And why do they have Skywarn spotters? Why do they want me to have some basic training to alert them of a tornado? You may say, they're going to trust my opinion? Me and my wife, they're going to trust me to report that I see a tornado before this $10 million device detects it? Well, here's the limitation. You see radars like this, and this is, basically a sweep. Every roughly, 6 minutes now, this radar is going around, and it's changing elevation every time. So it starts at, half a degree up, and it sweeps around, and then it goes up a couple degrees, sweeps around, and eventually starts that process over. And what happens is, you can see it sends a, signal out, and whatever comes back, and like an echo, bounces back off, and it alerts the radar and the meteorologist and whoever of what is it's being seen. They get the picture. But look at this. What happens right here? Okay, the radar increases in elevation. The height and width increases. So you can see as the radar is going out, it's going up. Okay, so 120 kilometers out, the farthest down it can see is 1 kilometer above the ground. So that's why Skywarn, they reference it as eyes on the ground. You have something happening right here or right here in front of the radar. You think, oh, well, they'll see that one first because it's closer. Not really. They got like a blind spot. Okay, so eyes on the ground will be that thing is sweeping around, and maybe it's looking 180 degrees behind you, and the elevation is going up higher because it's in the middle of its pass, its 6-minute sweep. What's happening is it's not seeing anything down here. So by the time that radar comes back out, now here comes the lag right here. Radar decides to finish its sweep, starts over, comes down and sweeps on the bottom part here, the lowest elevation, and it comes around. Oh, we detected something. Now it's got to take that information. They got to confirm it. Yes, we see there is an anomaly there. There could be severe weather. Let's go ahead and let the, whoever know, news media. That goes out. They got to take that. Someone's got to process it. The computer does most of it and says, okay, we have an alert. We have a severe weather forming right here. Let's go ahead and post that. They send it out. Boom, they interrupt your news media. Now you got to wait 15 seconds for that ticker to go scrolling across the screen and tell you, oh, well, the National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm or a tornado warning, and then it tells you about it. There's a big delay there. But the delay that doesn't happen is from this little device right here. So the device detects that without radar, without waiting for news media and all that. So this is why Skywarn makes it important that if you think you're not important, to become a Skywarn spotter and report, hey, I see a funnel cloud is forming right here down off US 1 here in Vero. Well, the radar may have not even picked that up yet. So that's why you're important for eyes on the ground. Okay? That's how a very, very generic, unprofessional way of what radar is, or how the radar sweeps. And there's more information online on how a radar works on the link in the description below. You'll know from this before you know from the weather station. That's why I think this is impressive. But again, I really recommend you have a weather radio also, because what this won't tell you is the alert message that follows the EAS tone. Okay, when you hear that, that comes in from the National Weather Service. I have a video you should go watch on my weather radio. Subscribe to my channel. Go back on how weather radios work, SAME, call it the same technology. And it shows you that, EAS tone right? That's just not a warning tone. There's digital data encrypted in that tells the weather radio what to display and what the message is. I bet you didn't know that, and that's why you should subscribe to my channel and learn that kind of stuff. In the meantime, this will just start beeping and flashing and tell you there's a severe weather. But the weather radio, when that's issued, an alarm, that'll give a message read aloud on where it's at, which way it's heading, who should take cover. So again, this is just an addition to keep you really alert when a weather event happens. Guys, here's the bottom line. I'm interested in this, and I will show you in the future what this device does in the process of a severe weather situation. Until then, look at the link below to purchase the unit, because you're not going to go back to Orlando Hamcation this year, until next year. So if you're interested in this product, make sure you look at the link in the description below for those who say, I want to know where to buy it. And if you're that inclined, send them a message and tell them, hey man, this dude just made a video on this thing and I want one because he explained it well. Tell them, show them. Say, hey, that'd be pretty cool. They'd probably be appreciative. The next time I go to Dayton, they might be there and say, wow, that's interesting. But I thank them for coming up with something like this. This is patented. This is a very unique device. And I think it's a winner. So thanks everybody for watching. I hope you learned a lot about this device, and I hope you take that challenge and leave the comment below and tell me that you know more about weather than anybody else, and that you can predict a tornado before it forms in your backyard. I'd love to hear it. 7-3 guys, KJ4, YZI.